This project is based on the artwork by Vincent van Gogh. For the background, I'm using temper cake paints, and we're going to make some swirls on our paper. With temper cakes, I have to mix up the water a little bit more than when you do with watercolors. Start by making some swirls all over your paper, some wavy lines. You want to fill up the space. This is going to be our background for our artwork. We don't need to make it look like a picture. We just want it to look like swirls. I'm going to clean my paintbrush out in between each color. We don't want to mix all the colors together and make muddy water. Little dashes following our swirls and wavy lines make it look like Vincent van Gogh's little brushstrokes that he filled his paintings with. I sped it up because this takes a while. Take your time. We're gonna fill up the whole entire page with little brushstrokes and swirly lines. This construction paper is going to be our vase for some sunflowers we're gonna put on our background. I'm gonna fold the paper in half, and on the folded side, that's really important, on the folded side, we're going to draw half an oval close to the top. That's the opening for our vase. On the side, I'm gonna go down and around, back to the fold. That's 1/2 of our vase. So that when I cut this out on the very outside of the line, I will end up with 2 halves to make a whole vase in the end. So don't cut out your little oval. We're just gonna cut out around the very outside of the line that we drew. And then when we open it back up, we will have a vase to put our flowers. We're gonna take this vase and glue it onto our background that we painted before. Using liquid glue will make it stick even better. So on the back of the vase, I'm going to use dot, dot, not a lot, all the way around the outside of my vase. Don't get it too close to the edge because then you'll have some big floods coming through. Put some in the middle of the vase and then carefully flip it over. Set it close to the bottom of your paper because we want room for flowers on the top, and then rub it down so that it sticks. Using a Sharpie, I can go over that top of the vase again, making a whole oval this time, and then we're gonna draw a curved line part of the way down the vase. It makes it look 3D. And I'm gonna outline the edges just to make it stand out a little bit more. Then just like Vincent van Gogh, I'm gonna sign my name right under that curved line in the middle of my vase. I can even put the year that I made this to remember later on. To help make this vase look even more 3D, I'm going to take crayons and we're going to draw some lines, kind of some shading. It has to follow the curve that we drew before. And I'm going to make one color on the bottom, kind of curve it around. I don't have to fill it all in because the construction paper is already colored. And then one color on top of the line, just curving back and forth all the way up the vase, helps make it look more round when we curve our lines instead of making them straight. The next part of this is making our sunflowers. I have painted paper already, and I'm gonna trace this cup to make a circle, and I'm gonna put it right up next to the edge. That way I don't waste that much paper. We can have our sunflowers as whole circles, or we can have the petals making spikes around the edges. So this second one, I put farther away from the edge, and I'm drawing a zigzag line for the petals going around the outside. Then I can cut these out, and I'll show you how each one of them looks in the end. You can make them either way that you want, or you can make them both ways like I did. So cut on that pencil line. Here's my nice circle. And then I'm gonna do these spikes one at a time, taking my time, going around each one. Here they are. So I'm going to take a Sharpie to go over these petals again. Just kind of drawing a zigzag line for each little petal going around, and then I put some in the middle. I sped it up because it takes a while. Then I can make a zigzag line going around the circle that I cut out to look like more petals. I can even add extra little petals in between the first petals that I drew, because sunflowers have lots and lots of petals on them. We need at least 3 petals for our vase. You can decide how you want them arranged, and then we're gonna glue them down with that liquid glue again. Making sure not to put too much glue because we don't want big floods. This time I did skinny lines going around. And then when we glue them down, you might have to hold them down on the paper for a while to really make them stick. If we get little floods going outside of our paper, just remember we can clean it up. Get a paper towel and wipe up any floods. And if there's little tiny floods, it'll dry clear. I'm pressing these down really hard so that they stay. Now we're gonna draw some details. I have paint sticks, a brown one to make some circles inside our sunflowers. They have those big centers on sunflowers with all the seeds in them. And then a green paint stick, and I'm gonna make some stems going down into my vase so I can draw on top of my construction paper because that oval on the top is the hole where flowers go in. So we wanna make it look like they're sitting inside the vase. And then that's the last detail to add to our picture.